Okay, so once you find the greatest common factor of a polynomial's term, you can factor it out of the polynomial. So let's take problem 3 for example. We have 4x to the fifth minus 24x to the third plus 8x. And again, we would need to find the greatest common factor of these three terms. And the greatest common factor of these three terms is 4x. So you would see that I have 2 in each one, another 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. And then each one also has an x. So when I pull out an x, I can divide 4x by each one of these. And when I do that, 4x divided here gives me x to the fourth. 4x divided here gives me 6x squared. And 4x divided here gives me 2. Alright. So let's take a look at guided 3. So I have 9 x to the 6th plus 15 x to the 4th plus 12x to the 4th, x squared. So let's go ahead and break it down. Some of you probably don't need to break it down. You can do it in your head. But for those that can't, let's continue to do it this way for now. Oops. Okay, so each one has been broken down. And so I see everybody has a 3, everybody has an x, and everybody has another x. So I'm going to pull out a 3x squared. Okay? And so now from each one of these, I'm going to take the 3x squared out. So it's like dividing. So we'll put that here. 3x squared, 3x squared, 3x squared. And so 3 divided by 9 is 3. And then x squared, so 6 minus 2 is 4. Plus 3 divided by 15 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So there I have it. Alright, the second one says I don't want to have negative coefficients. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a negative this time. I normally don't pull out a negative, but this one they all have a negative. So let's factor. So we have negative 2 times 3 times x times x times x times x. Then we have negative 2 times 3 times 3 times x times x times x. And then negative 2 times 2 times 3 times x times x. So they all have negative 2 in common. They all have 3 in common. They all have x in common. They all have x in common. And so if I multiply everything out, that's going to give me a negative 6x squared is my greatest common factor. And so if I divide everything by that negative 6x squared, I get x squared plus, because I'm taking out the negative, so my sign is going to change. I'm dividing a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And it's also what's ever left. If you notice that, so I have x squared left here. Here I have 3x, and that'll be my next term. Here I have 2. And so that's going to be my last term. So I hope that this helps.